This is the Evora. It's Lotus's latest sports car. Like all Lotuses, it looks super quick. It handles like a son of a... And it'll make people who care more about the perfect racing line than numbers imminently happy. But it's hiding a secret. Yes, it's a four-seater, but don't think that Lotus has gone soft. If I sit down in the front seat and get in a comfortable position, this is a comfortable position, and then try and climb behind myself, I'm going to suffer. Here we go, in case you needed proof. I'm not gonna say there's no leg room, but there's really nowhere for me to put my legs. I'm sort of splayed out. The bigger problem is the headroom. We've got this cross member right here where my head, which is already ducking down to clear the already low roof line, goes just right there in the back of my head. That's fantastic. Lesson, this is the right place to put baggage or children, not whiny journalists.
An entire day spent driving an Elise is exhilarating but exhausting. Not so in the Evora. It's a kinder, gentler Lotus. The seats are supportive yet soft and comfortable, the ride is firm but not fatiguing, and interior noise at freeway speeds is minimal, for a Lotus.
Die-hard Lotus fans probably recoil at the notion of a kinder, gentler Lotus. The Exige and the Elise, they're not covered in all of this leather, and they don't have this much headroom. They don't have an interior that's as quiet on the freeway as the Evora. And yet, there are still some essential Lotus bits. Metal stuff like this, and metal buttons surrounded by metal. And even if you flip up this center armrest here, look at this hunk of, metal. And then I think my favorite bit is the door handle. This is something Lion-O from the Thundercats would totally stab that Mumra guy with. Awesome. The number one thing everybody wants to know about the Lotus Evora is how does it handle? It's a Lotus. It better handle well. Thankfully, it does. Oh gosh, look at that. The steering is amazing. It's like the right amount of effort. It's not too firm, not too soft. It's just right, Goldilocks. I think what makes the Evora so satisfying to drive is that every movement matters. There's no extra play here with the steering wheel. When it's on center, move it slightly off center, and you're turning. So much information comes back through this steering wheel. If I take my hands off just a little bit, you see the steering wheel move back and forth. Every little bit of information that could be transmitted up through the road is, and it all comes right to your hands. You know exactly what's happening with the front wheels. It's got these stainless steel brake lines and these big, almost 14-inch discs, front and rear. And when you push your foot, if you lay it gently on the brake pedal, you're slowing down. Same thing with the throttle. Push the sport button over here, and the throttle response, instant. You've got power right when you need it. It steers like you're thinking your way through the turns instead of steering your way through your turns. And when you want to stop, you're damn sure you're going to stop.
Other things we noticed driving the Lotus Evora? Forward visibility is great. Rearward visibility is not. The brake pedal is so sensitive that it's hard to perform heel-toe downshifts while maintaining consistent brake pressure. There's no dead pedal, but you can rest your foot under the clutch if you need to stretch out.
Colin Chapman always said, add lightness. And this Evora weighs 3,046 pounds. It's about 1,000 pounds more than either an Elise or an Exige. Yes, it's bigger. Yes, it has room for theoretical people in the back, but it's a little bit disconcerting. But when you go out to the racetrack, or you go out to your favorite winding mountain road, you're not driving a spec sheet, you're driving a car. And this car drives like a Lotus. In terms of acceleration, the Lotus Evora is not a mind-blowing experience. It's not the kind of car you get in, stomp the throttle, and think you're seeing other dimensions or traveling through time. But what it does have is enough power to match the dynamic prowess in the corners. You don't feel like it's lacking power when you're exiting a corner. Those who need bigger numbers to impress people will be happy to know that a forced induction solution is on the way, but it's not here yet. But even if you do buy an Evora now and 276 horsepower doesn't seem like enough, it's retrofittable. So I say buy that Evora. For more automotive news, please visit the latest news section of KBB.com.